In this video, we're going to enter in the chords from the song by Robert Miles called Children, which you can see appearing in the top corner there. Let's start by creating a new live scene. So I'm going to click on File, New Live Set. I don't need to save the changes on this. And it should load up, and it will be in this view over here, which is the session view. But we want to change over to the arrangement view, either with the buttons in the top right, or by clicking the Tab key to toggle between those two views. So leave it in arrangement view. Our first step is to actually highlight 4 bars. You see we've got our bar numbers, bar 1, bar 5, bar 9. I've highlighted those first 4 bars. I'd like to insert a MIDI clip. So a few ways you could do that. You could create, insert MIDI clip, which has the shortcut key of Control-Shift-M. Why don't I try that shortcut? Control-Shift-M. Sure enough, that creates it. Other ways to do it is to highlight the 4 bars and right-click there, and you can actually just insert it that way as well. If you want to delete a MIDI clip, you just click on the sort of title bar area of it, and you can press delete. I can actually name my MIDI clip. I'm going to right-click on it and go rename, and I'm going to type in Chords 1. And there we go. I have a MIDI clip that's got 4 bars worth of time. You can see down the bottom here. If that was not appearing down the bottom, if you had something like that, you can just actually double click on that MIDI clip. I'd suggest you arrange your screen so you have about half the screen of the piano roll here. We're going to actually add our chords in. I'll bring them up now. Okay, so you should see the chords there. Each of those chords is sustained for at least 1 bar. So we don't need this grid to be at 16th note resolution. We can actually just choose 1 bar, and we lost all these little subdivisions. And now if I double click here, it will create a note for the whole bar. Now, a quick way when you're entering notes is to not have to double click, is just to click on the pencil tool, the draw mode switch up the top here, which I'm toggling right now. If I push the B keyboard on the B key on the keyboard, it does the same thing. Okay, I'm going to enter draw mode, and I'm looking at my chord chart, and the top note is an A flat. Now, A flat is a note that's a little bit lower than an A, and on our piano roll, it's calling it G sharp, but that black key on the piano actually has 2 names. It can be considered to be a little higher than a G, it's a G sharp, or a little bit lower than an A, so you can call it A flat. So I'm going to put that A flat there. The note then rises up to the next black key, B flat, which is actually the same as A sharp because it's like lowering a B or raising an A. And then we go back to our A flat, and this note is tied across and held for 2 bars. So I've lengthened that there. Let's look at the middle voice of our chord. It actually just goes on an F the whole way. So I will just lengthen that 3rd F, and then we've got 2 D flats and a C. Now if you've got a D and you lower it, it could be called C sharp. And we've got 2 of those, followed by a C for 2 bars. Let's have a listen to that. Now here's a valid point. I pressed play, I'm not hearing anything. Why is that? Because I don't actually have any device on my track yet. It's empty. There's no instrument. So what I'd like you to do is go up here to this browser area and head to the instruments category and type in a search for the word piano. Now it might come up with everything closed like that. You'll open up the instrument rack and you'll come down, and I'm going to use that grand piano simple. There's lots of options, but I'll for now drag the grand piano onto track 1. And then we should see that device load up. And now there is actually a device on track 1 instead of it looking empty like track 2 does now. Okay, so now we're in a position where if we hit play, our MIDI will actually trigger those sounds. If you can't see your MIDI clip, you can double click on the chords there and hit play. Beautiful. Now, there's a couple of ways we could have that repeat. I could click on the title bar to select it, hit Control, and paste it in, and I could sort of paste it a few times every 4 bars. Or, an even easier way is just to drag that little square bracket that appears when you position the cursor near that title bar. And I'm going to drag it out so there's 4 repetitions, which takes 16 bars. So all the way out to the 17, and you hear that 4 times. And that's it for our first video here. In the next videos, we're going to continue and build upon this project. So make sure you save it. Save the live set as in a sensible place on your OneDrive. And next lesson, we're going to continue with that.